Have you ever left a date feeling like everything went great, and then that night you get a text saying, "I do not think we are a good match," and you have no idea what just happened? You told your best stories, you tried your hardest. She was nodding, smiling and saying, "Oh, that is so cool," and you thought the date was going in the right direction. But the truth is, her mind checked out 15 minutes ago. You just did not know it, and here is the core issue. We are taught to listen to words, but nobody teaches us how to read the real language. Happening right there on the table, right in front of our eyes. Today, we are going to learn how to read 4 hand signals that show she is bored to death inside, and more importantly, how to turn the situation around before it is too late. Let us start with the most classic signal, the one you have definitely seen many times but might have misunderstood. The chin rest position when gravity wins. On the surface, resting the chin might look cute. She leans her cheek into her palm, looking at you, seeming like she is paying close attention. But here is the physiological truth: when the brain is truly interested and focused, the body is naturally in an alert state. The head stays up and the neck muscles are active. The act of using a hand to support the head is actually an effort to keep the head from dropping because the brain is no longer receiving energy from interest. To put it simply, the hands are doing the job that interest should be doing, and there is a very practical scale here. Boredom is directly proportional to the amount of weight the hand has to support. Resting the chin lightly once in a while might be okay, but when the entire cheek is fully resting in the palm, the eyes start to look indifferent, and that posture lasts a long time. That is no longer, "I am listening to you." It is, "I am waiting for this to be over next." This is the smallest signal, but it speaks the loudest. If you know how to listen. Fingers tapping on the table, the conductor of impatience. You are talking about your personal achievements, your last trip, or the project you are working on, and meanwhile, out of the corner of your eye, you start to see her fingers tapping lightly on the table, or she is spinning a pen constantly, or drawing meaningless lines on a napkin. In behavioral psychology, this is an energy release mechanism. When a person has to suppress discomfort when they want to leave, deep down, but politeness does not allow it yet, that excess energy needs to find a way out, and it escapes through repetitive movements at the fingertips. This is the clearest unspoken announcement. Are you done talking? I cannot take it anymore. It is not that she does not respect you. It is just that her body cannot pretend forever. The third point, and this is the hardest signal to mistake, because it is clearly defensive. Both hands holding the head or placed behind the neck, the barrier of rejection. Imagine you just proposed a plan for the next date, and right at that moment she brings both hands up, places them behind her neck or lightly holds her head. In body language, this is one of the most obvious defensive postures. It appears when a person feels overwhelmed, when they have heard enough and want to stop immediately, but do not know how to say it politely. Holding the head with both hands does not mean she is relaxing. It is her creating a barrier between herself and the conversation. If you see this signal, stop immediately. No need to say more, no need to explain further. This is when silence is the smartest thing you can do. And finally, this is the most subtle signal, and it is important to distinguish it from the opposite signal. We talked about in the last video, fidgeting with hair quickly and inconsistently, a sign of insecurity. Do you remember stroking hair slowly with the hand lingering near the neck? That is a signal of attraction. But when fingers stroke the hair at a fast speed, with inconsistent and repetitive movements, that is something completely different. It is the body's way of releasing anxiety and instability when having to continue a conversation they no longer want to be in. The key difference lies in the rhythm and intent. Slow and graceful is opening up fast, and messy is wanting to escape. When you see this, do not try to say more. Observe the whole picture, and now here is the twist. I want you to really remember, because it completely changes how you react to those 4 signals. She is not bored with you, she is just bored with the way you are talking. That might sound like the same thing, but it is actually completely different. Research shows that 90% of first impressions come from gestures and interaction style, not the content. You could have the best story in the world, but if you tell it in a way that takes up all the space in the conversation, leaving no room for her to breathe, no room for her to be the interesting person, she will withdraw. Not because you are bad, but because she does not see herself in that conversation. So when you see those red lights, do not try to talk more to pull her attention back. That is the worst instinct in this situation. Instead, stay silent for 3 seconds, then ask a question about her. Not a small talk question, but a question you actually want to know the answer to. Like, how do you feel about that? Or if it were you, what would you do? Hand the microphone over to her, and if you are subtle enough to realize you just talked too much, and proactively change. She will not see you as a boring person, she will see you as a man with enough self-awareness to adjust, and that is something much rarer than a good story. So remember these 4 signals. Resting the chin for a long time is disappointment, tapping fingers is impatience holding. The head is wanting to stop and fidgeting with hair. Quickly is insecurity, and when you see those signals, do not panic, do not try to talk more, just stop. Ask, give her some space. If she still does not change after all that, end the date politely and gently. Not because you lost, but because knowing when to stop, that is also a form of strength. Hands never lie, and the man who knows how to read the truth before it is spoken. That man is never surprised by the phrase, "We are not a good match." Have you ever seen a girl rest her chin while listening to you speak? What did you do then? Did you keep talking, or did you realize it in time? Comment below so we can decode it together. Hit like if this lesson can save your next date, and subscribe to Femina Mind today so you do not miss the silent signals that women are sending out every day. Signals that when you learn how to read, every conversation will never be the same again.